Welcome back to another episode. This is Ultimate Rebuilds, and we are rebuilding this 1984 classic surf jet. Currently runs, but it doesn't move in the water, and that's what we were trying to figure out last episode. We kind of have it narrowed down, but we still haven't really figured it out yet. So that's what we're going to do in this episode, along with some other things I'm going to talk about real quick. If you don't know what these things are, neither do I, because I bought it not knowing what it is. I thought it was cool, so that's why I bought it. These things were only built in like the 80s, but they make them nowadays with like a lot smaller motor, a lot more compressed, and a little bit more reliable, I think. They make electric ones too, but this one is a two-stroke motor gas-powered one. Last episode, we put a new impeller on. We thought that was going to fix the problem, but it ended up messing up the new impeller. We have a couple ideas from you guys of what the problem might be. One of the ideas was that the motor was spinning in reverse. I did not know that was even a thing for two strokes, but evidently they can run backwards if you have the pull start spun the wrong way. Apparently that might be a problem. We're going to look into that. Also, people were asking if it has a locking pin to hold it in place. It does not. It doesn't have any locking pin. So that's not a problem. We narrowed that one out. But I think we have the main problem figured out. The owner of the company that I bought all these new parts from reached out to me. He watched my video, and he said that I need to put the new seals on or it's going to get air leaks, and that's going to cause the impeller to shred like I did previously. So might have been a manufacturer flaw, or it might have been me. We're not really sure. We're going to say it's a manufacturer flaw. I didn't have it sealed. You have to put silicone on the new seals, seal it all up. I cannot reuse the donut gasket either, so each time I take the motor off, I have to replace that and put silicone all around it. Good to know for future. Evidently, air gets up in there and causes problems. I don't really know how it works. I have just listened to what he says. I believe him. I feel like he knows what he's talking about if he sells the parts, so we're going to take his word for it. But I do want to check the motor, see if that's spinning right. Just because I didn't put the motor back together, who knows what could have happened. Accidents happen all the time, so we're going to check that out, make sure it's spinning the right way too, because that was an interesting idea. But that actually leads me to my next dilemma. I don't want to put this motor back in with the new seals just for me to take it back off to paint this thing. And that means I have to spend more money to replace the seals, and problems might happen. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and paint this thing. I have an idea for a paint job. I think it's going to look really cool. It's kind of retro. I also have all the material to paint this thing already. So I'm not really wasting money on this, more like wasting my time. So we're going to get this thing running no matter what, but we're going to have to paint this thing first before I put the motor back in, because I don't want to take the motor off and have to redo all the seals. You know what I mean? We're going to paint this thing first. And to do that, it's pretty okay shape. There's a few bodywork spots that we need to fix up in the front area where the nose got refiberglassed. We're going to fix that up, make it look a little bit better. The paint I'm going to use is this Bright Side polyurethane. I'm going to use a white paint. I used this stuff on my jet ski rebuild, my last pair of jet ski rebuilds, when I repainted them black. It held up pretty well for what it was and like the cheap price of it. And it's also a lot easier than gel coat, because this you can just paint on with anything, and it's pretty smooth. So we're going to use this stuff. I don't think this is going to get banged up very much because it's very light, and yeah, it's not like a jet ski or a boat or anything like that. So we're going to use this kind of paint for it, and then some spray paint for the design I'm going for. And I'll probably clear coat over top of it just for extra protection. I'm just not going to put a bunch of money into this thing. I'm already kind of over budget, and it's not really worth a whole lot. So I just want to make it look cool for a low price. So we're going to try to do that. First thing I'm going to do is fix the bodywork, and then I'm going to paint the bottom side, do the design, let it dry, flip it over, do the same thing to the top, and then move on from there. One more thing I forgot to mention, because people were asking about it. I do live in Florida. We just had a hurricane come through last week. Not much damage down in my area. It went over us, but it was already pretty low. I think it was like a 1 when it went over us. So not much damage around the house. We had a few little tree bushes blow over, trimmed all that up. Our roof took a little bit of damage. Some shingles are off. I probably have to replace all that. And in my garage, you can see some water leaks got in. It's messing up my mural a little bit. Oh, well, it's okay. I was kind of surprised this thing held up, because this garage is pretty old and it's looking a little rough. Hopefully we can replace this here and within a year or two. Taller, bigger garage, fit boats in here. That'd be nice. I just had people messaging me, making sure I was okay. I'm okay. All good here. Thank you, though. All right, let's get to work. We had a little bit of a setback, not something I planned for right away, but something we had to get into. I started digging into this front end, trying to clean up the bodywork, make it look a little bit better. Then I noticed it was a lot of Bondo in it, and Bondo does not hold water, and it just like goes right through it. So what happened was a lot of water got into the board and waterlogged all the foam, at least a third of it. I cut it way back to here. Took out all that foam because it's no good anymore. It's just going to be weighing it down. Something you can't fix. You just have to take it out and replace it. And to do that, I had to split this board in half where it seams together. It wasn't easy. I had to have my dad help me a little bit. Got that done. Took all the foam out. Fixed all the fiberglass work. I had to do a lot of reforming and reshaping. It wasn't super easy, but it's all good now. It's rock solid. It looks a lot better. A little bit of body work to do that just to make it look a little bit cleaner, a little bit smoother, but it's pretty good. It's a lot better. So just a little bit of a setback. I got to reseal this board again. I ordered some marine grade sealer so it doesn't get any more water in it, hopefully. Hopefully, please. Let me talk 1 second about the foam I used just so I can clarify some things. That was just great stuff value foam. It's just spray foam. You use it around your house and stuff like that. It is not marine grade quality. The only reason I used it is because it was readily available and it wasn't a whole lot of foam I'm using. It's just this little bit, and it's not really like a part of the surfboard that's going to be underwater a lot. So trying to make myself be okay with it. I just didn't want to buy the marine grade stuff because one, it's expensive, and I didn't want to wait another 2 weeks for something to come in, get delayed more, video get delayed more. It's just annoying. So I think it'll be okay. Just if you were having to replace the whole board, you definitely need to use marine grade, and I think it would work a little bit better. But I think it turned out pretty good, and it's a lot lighter now. Okay, next step is to clean up this bodywork, a little bit of body filler, paint it with some primer, and then we can start painting the whole thing with the design. Hopefully everything goes well with that. I don't want to get set back again. This set me back about 4 days. Don't want to do that again. All right, let's do it. I am in love with how this turned out. This looks so good. For pretty much a free paint job, well, I paid for the cans, which is like $20, the spray paint cans. But everything else I already had. I already had the white paint. I already had the clear coat. All this was basically free. I think this is a pretty awesome paint job. I like it a lot more than the blue that was originally on it. Unfortunately, we did not get the motor installed this episode. I need this to dry for a couple more days, and this video is already getting pretty long and delayed like a month after I was supposed to have it posted. A lot of setbacks. All this foam, the extra body work I was not planning on doing, that all set me back a few weeks. The hurricane came through. That set me back a little bit. Been busy every weekend. A lot of excuses going on right now, but I'm trying to get back to a more consistent schedule. It's hard to get back to it when you stop doing it for so long, but working on it. Next episode, we're going to install this motor back in, get it running. Please get it running. If I don't get it running in like a month, I'm going to cut it up into pieces and sell it to my subscribers for $100 a piece. Maybe you'll get a shirt with it. Who knows? Maybe I'll let you do that. But no, on a serious note, I really love how this turned out. I think it looks amazing. It's exactly what I was picturing in my head for the most part. Looks cool. We're going to get this thing put back together next episode. Stay tuned for that. If you aren't following me on Instagram, post a lot behind the scenes. You can catch up with me there. Make sure I'm still alive. TikTok, all that stuff. Email me if you need to. Yeah, we'll throw that in there too. All right. I will catch you guys next episode. Hopefully less than a month. Fingers crossed. All right. Bye, guys.